All right, I'm here with Coach Howard West. So you've been from, Reynolds to Reagan to Forsyth Country Day, and now you're over here at West Forsyth in the Central Piedmont Conference. So how does it feel to be back, and why ultimately was the West Forsyth Titans the best decision?
Well, I've always enjoyed the CPC. That's where I came to Reynolds, pulled all 17 years there, and then of course with Reagan, when we got to 4A level, this is where I really enjoy the coaches. I really enjoy the competition. The fan bases are good. This is a good place for me to get back into public school. I enjoyed my stint at Forsyth Country Day, but I felt like for this part of my career, I wanted to be back in public school and, see if I could come in, and this job came open, and this is one of the best jobs in the state.
What can you say to the fan base about, coming over here and keeping up the tradition? Adrian Snow with football, they'd have a phenomenal season, and everybody supports every single sport, like you said. But what can you say about this upcoming year with the West Forsyth Titans?
Well, I want to get the fans in the seats. And then I want the fans in the seats on the edge of their seats. I want them to have to see and keep up and actually sweat watching our team work hard. So that means up-tempo, that means getting up the court on defense, that means pushing it, but it means doing it in an organized manner. And I think fans like effort. I think they like to watch kids work hard and play together, and that's the kind of stuff I like the most. That's been the most successful for me. So I fully plan on taking that same thought, and philosophy and try to put it in out here.
Now, I know you've had, quite some extents like with different teams, and so you just finished up with Forsyth Country Day with playing teams like Greensboro Day and Westland. So, you guys had a very, dominant team a couple of years. I remember watching you last season, and then, you have very hard-working kids, and I know you're talking about that's going to come into West Forsyth, but, you made connections over there with a lot of their players. So what do you mind sharing what you told them, as you're leaving? You had some sophomores and juniors that are going to be playing for Forsyth Country Day and Monty Gray over there now. But what did you tell them before you transitioned over here to West Forsyth?
Well, life changes. And it's not always what you want to happen. It happens. And you have to learn to deal with it. And I told them, I said, look, I'm going to wish y'all the best of luck every game next year. I want you to succeed, except for the 2 games if we're on your schedule. And I expect you to feel the same way about me. And so far in every place that I've coached at, that's what I've left them with, that thought. Because, part of sports is you got to grow up some. Winning and losing, there is a difference. And if you can become a better person, better student, better man, better son through athletics, then that's all good. Because when they come back to see me, and I have them from all the places I've been, they'll come by and see me. That's like money in the bank. It's just so great to see them, to think that relationship has stood the test of time. And I think it'll be the same way with the kids from Forsyth Country Day School, and I think it'll be the same way here.
Fun question for you. So I know Mike, he's coached with you, Mike Muse, and then, when you were at Reynolds, you had some great rivalry games against Andy Muse, so you're going to be, rekindling those, and then you have Overby at Reagan, so there's going to be a lot of rivalries during the whole season. Now that you're back in public school, so what can you say about, how fun it's going to be to play against all your friends that you, have made relationships with as well, besides the players?
Well, most people don't understand this, but Andy was the first guy to call me and congratulate me on getting the job. But he did it in the tone of "Welcome back, Cotter." He was singing to me, which Andy is not a good singer. I'm not either, but me and him make a good duo, I think, on that. Lots of people want to see, me and Andy doing this, but it's usually not at each other. It's at the referees. I'm sorry, refs, but it's at the referees, or we're coaching our kids. But the reason why the games were so excited is the students were involved. Both student bodies were in the games. A lot of our kids went to the Career Center together. They saw each other all day. They made those relationships, and, there was a little smack being talked at the Career Center and that kind of thing. And so we always had very excited crowds about the game. And despite what anybody else thinks, I know I've been coaching a long time, but I get excited for games. I still have butterflies in my stomach before a ball game. And my wife, Helen, will tell you, I've said this many times, if I ever lose those butterflies, it's time for her to tell me to get on out. I'm not doing it for the right reasons. So Tuesdays and Friday nights are big nights in kids' lives. And so therefore, it's up to me to help them enjoy it as much as possible. Now, I know sometimes the look on my face doesn't say I'm enjoying it, but in actuality, I am enjoying it. I'm just into the game, getting out of it as much as I can other than playing. And then, of course, at Reagan, Jeff O would be one of my best friends. I mean, tremendous assistant, tremendous man. And so, you know, it's going to be fun. Every night there's going to be not only the teams, but the coaches kind of going at it a little bit. But I just think it's going to be exciting.
Well, thank you, Coach, and we're really excited to cover you this upcoming season. So I appreciate you sitting down and taking the time with us.
Thank you, and I'd like to thank you and your staff for all the work you're doing for these high school kids. I think it's just great that somebody has picked that ball up and starting to put these kids out there from all schools, not just one or two schools and just one or two players. So on behalf of my team and my players and my staff, we appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome.